real solutions to money, relationships, wellness, and more. Shine a light onto your day and into your life. Power Your Life with Dr. Joanne White.
Welcome everyone to Power Your Life. I'm Joanne White. Finding the right partner these days is not always easy. Some people can find the love of their lives right away, but for others it may take a really long time, and often followed by some disappointment and grief. What's the secret to finding love? We have tonight Siggy Flicker, a relationship expert, matchmaker, and television personality, who's here to give us the lowdown on love and heartache. Siggy, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, I love it. So let's get right into it, okay? Many people are looking for love and looking for companionship and relationships, and they're doing so online. What seems to be some of the mistakes that they make while they're doing that?
Well, the first thing is it's great to look for love online, because today we're obsessed. We're obsessed with social media. But it's also imperative to understand that online dating has to go hand in hand with social dating. Meaning, let's take working out. You can't work out on the treadmill for 45 minutes a day and then come home to a Whopper French fries and a Diet Coke and then wonder at the end of the week, why am I not losing weight? Same thing, online dating is a tool. It's just for somebody to come and say, I'm interested in this profile. Some important tips for that is, it starts with a picture.
So people need to put up a really good picture.
The picture is the most important thing. Imagine you're walking in a building and there's many doors. How are you going to get somebody to knock on your door to say, I want to view your profile? It's the first thing. So many people do this mistake. They put up a profile with them holding up a peace sign with sunglasses on. I can't see your eyes. Or, you know, they'll put up a picture of them with 15 or their girlfriend. How do I know who it is that I'm...
Right.
So people will pass your profile in order for you to get as many viewers, because at the end of the day, you want to get as many people knocking on your door, because then you're going to start an online banter, right? So you get as many people to come in. You start with the picture of you, like this. Side profile, smiling, open, invitation, warm.
Why a side profile?
Well, I always think that head on and ooh and trying to do the duck face and trying to be too sexy, it's a little bit too much. How about just like...
So be as natural as you can.
As
and open,
as natural. If somebody doesn't like what you look like, say thank you, Lord. Let them pass on to the next profile. All you want to get is somebody to say hello.
You know, I've spoken to people who are putting their profiles online, and sometimes they're telling a whole life story.
Never.
What do they do?
Never. Keep it short and simple. Nobody's going on to your profile because they want to read a book. They don't want to read a book. It's what you do for a living. Keep it short and simple and sweet. Why? Because everything in life is about chemistry. It's the chemistry that we feel off each other.
Can you get chemistry from online
You can't.
dating?
That's why you're writing a book. Keep it short. So I'm saying what you do for a living, what you like to do when you're not working, your hobbies. I like to roller skate, I like to dance, I like to go to the museum, and what type of person you're looking for. From that short bio, somebody should, oh my God, she likes to travel? She likes Japan? Wow.
Similar
interests for all of this.
Okay.
Hi, Beth. Think your profile's interesting. My name is Gary. Now you're going to start something, an online banter, back and forth to see. Wow, you're not going to get chemistry there, but you're going to see, Now this is where it goes with social dating.
Now I have a question.
Okay, go.
Because sometimes people are players online. They're not really serious, and they can keep that going and going and going. How do you figure out which one is a player and who's really serious?
Very simple, very simple. So you start out, hi Gary, how are you? What are you doing? Da-da-da. And you start to have this online banter, and it's going great. So we're going to get together. What's your schedule look like? When somebody doesn't respond to you for a few days, when somebody says, yeah, I think I'm available in 2 weeks from now, what does that tell you? That that person is really not looking for a commitment. They're playing. So you know what you do? Delete, next.
So one thing. Next, I love that. Next. Yes.
One thing we can't control is time. Nobody has time to waste. Nobody has time to waste. I don't want to waste any time. I don't want to waste anybody else's time. But if somebody says, hey, I love this relationship that we have online, I'll talk to you tomorrow after work. And you see that person after work says, hey, how was your day today? If they're really a good person and they're really interested in having a relationship, you will know with how they respond and what they say. Can I see a full body shot of you? What does your backside look like? What is that telling you? He's a player.
And what about people that are lying? People lie about their age.
Yes.
They lie about
right.
So.
Well, that's one of the dangers with online dating. That's a risk. But with everything in life, I say to people, you can't expect everything to be perfect. That's a risk that you're going to have to take. That's why I suggest that the banter only happen for 2 to 3 weeks, and then you have to meet that person in person. Then you meet them and say, wow, you look so different from your picture. You'll know right away. So every person is worth 15 minutes of your time. You don't have to have a fancy dinner, steak, appetizers, dessert, coffee. No. I'd like to meet you for a drink and an appetizer. And then you'll know if it's a yay or a nay. It's very simple, but you have to put in the work and say, oh, you can't come to me and say, oh, everybody out there, no one's serious. There are no good men.
You're from Cherry Hill, and
Yes.
you have an incredible story in terms of your divorce, which
Yes.
really didn't cause any havoc for you or your children, and your husband, your ex-husband, was actually the best man at your second wedding.
Yes.
How did this happen?
Crazy, but true. Well, I am from Cherry Hill, very proud. I graduated from Cherry Hill West, and I love Cherry Hill. I just came from Ponzio's Diner. I have very fond memories of Cherry Hill, but ever since I was young, and it started in Cherry Hill with me having a boyfriend when I was a freshman. I had a senior boyfriend, and everybody's like, I don't really understand how. But it's all about the attitude. Moving forward, I married a wonderful man, Mark Ira Flicker. We had 2 gorgeous kids, Sophie and Joshua. My kids are my life. So when the marriage fell apart, which no one expects when they're walking down the aisle,
sure.
Life, things happen. He went his way, I went my way. I said, you know what, we're going to get divorced, and we're going to do it without an attorney, and we're going to try to do it with class and dignity. The class came on his part. So when we separated, he was like, wow, this is really working out great. And I said, even better. I'm going to match you with your perfect match. And then when I found my perfect match, we asked my ex-husband, Mark, to be the best man.
What a fantastic story. And people can actually follow that up by themselves. So
Yeah.
I think that it's so important that when you have that kind of relationship, that it's so important for the kids, and to really move forward. Thank you. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, Siggy Flicker is going to tackle your questions all about love and dating.
I love your look, from your shoes, your dress,
I tried.
and your hair is gorgeous.
Thank you.
This is all you. It looks natural. It's not?
Nope.
Good matching.
Nothing on me is all me. We'll start out with that.
My
No.
kind of girl. Okay.
Welcome back to Power Your Life. My guest today is Siggy Flicker. You've seen her on VH1's Why Am I Still Single? And Siggy is one of the most successful matchmakers from New York, and she rejoins us tonight with tips on finding true love that can last. Plus, she's going to answer some of the questions that we've received on dating dilemmas. You ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, great. Because we do have some questions that people
Okay.
emailed in.
I love it.
And but you've been on so many shows. We just saw the
Wendy's my favorite. Yes, Wendy's my favorite.
Dr. Phil.
Love him. Hoda and Kathy Lee. Good Morning America. A lot of them.
You certainly get around, right? And it's great because people
The more
need to
people
know
I can
about
help,
love,
yes.
but also they need to know about love and dating.
Yes. Why
and
not?
that's very important to
Everybody needs somebody to give good advice.
Right.
Good advice is very rare to come.
And you're an expert at it.
It's worked for me in my life. I'd like to share it with others.
Well,
Why not?
let's share it with some people
Okay.
here. So this is Michelle,
Okay.
who's 46, and she's recently divorced, and she has a daughter who's 8 years old. And she writes, how do you know when it's the right time to introduce the guy that you're dating to your children?
Beautiful question. Okay, so I'm 46 years old, and I can relate to that. Here's what I did through my experience. I believe it takes 3 to 6 months to get to know somebody. You never know who that person is. You can't possibly know if you love somebody right away. Wait 3 to 6 months for you to get to know them, and then wait another 6 months. I did not introduce my kids to Michael, who is my husband, for a year. Now, you don't have to. It's not a set in stone a year, but wait 3 to 6 months until you really know this person's character.
But can you introduce him as a friend or
No.
her as a someone to just
No.
not
I
to go near at all?
I believe for the first 3 to 6 months, get to know this person. Why introduce him as a friend and then all of a sudden, Mommy, where's your friend? Because you found out that he cheated on you with your best friend's friends.
Right.
No, you don't want friends like that around my kids. My kids are sacred to me. I'll introduce you with you. Oh, I'd like you to meet somebody. I've been with them, and there's no guarantee that that relationship is going to work a year later. But at least I know for myself this person's character and the morals, and I'm going to wait at least 6 months. Take a little bit further to introduce them to my babies.
Now, Michelle didn't write this question. This is me as you're talking,
Yes.
and I'm thinking, well, what happens? You're going out and you're dating this person. What do you tell your kids?
Mommy's going on a date.
With who, Mommy?
I'm going on a date with a person by the name of Michael, and guess what? If he's special, and only if he's special, I'm going to introduce him to you.
And next week, Mommy, so is Michael special?
I don't know yet, but when I know, I'm going to tell you, my little pumpkin pie. I mean,
So you can keep it going.
You could keep it going, but they're like, well, why are you not showing us? Why are you not bringing Michael around? Because I'm protecting my babies. That's what a mother does.
And it's okay to tell your
Why
kids
not?
that.
They feel more special.
Right,
You're my
right.
baby. I'm not going to bring you around anybody unless I know if I like that person.
Now, guys often tend to bring a female into the picture much sooner when they're single and they have kids.
Right.
But the same rule applies to them?
Absolutely. You don't want to confuse a child. Divorce is very, very, very hard on children. First of all, till this day, and I'm remarried, my children's biggest wish is, Mommy, one day will you get back together with Daddy? I mean, they're children. That's what
Right,
they
that's
want.
what they want.
And I say, it's not going to happen, but I love your daddy, and he's very, very happy.
And he's
But
always there. He's
there, but
right.
you don't want to confuse them anymore.
Let's get on to the next
'Kay.
question. Okay, so they say that there's a fine line between love and hate, and this is from Tammy, who wants to know if she should be concerned that the guy that she's dating, he's talking incessantly about his ex-wife, that he can't stand her. She wants to know, is that a sign that the ex is on his mind, or is that also just a red flag?
Well, no, because if they have children, if they don't have children together and he's talking about his ex-wife, then he's still in love with his ex-wife. I'm not sure if if they have kids involved, but when there are kids involved, you're always going to have your significant other talk about the ex. My husband talks about his ex-wife, and we stopped all that because it was a negative situation. So whenever there's a toxic, negative situation and kids are involved, they're not talking about their ex-wives because of their ex-wives. They're talking about it because there's a situation with the kids that arouse that they are upset about.
So they need to talk it out.
They need to talk it out. So I say, why don't we handle it this way? Well, that's a great idea, sweetheart. But if somebody's talking about their ex-wife and there's no kids involved, that is 100% a red flag to say, take the L out of lover. This relationship is over. No, that's a no-no.
You have a book coming out soon.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, I worked really, really hard on it, and after I did the show, it's just going to be rules on how to date and how to keep love, because I believe that love is like a car, okay? So everybody picture your favorite car. If it's a Jeep Cherokee, because my husband sells Jeeps, I like to picture Jeep Cherokees, but you have to have all the right tires with air.
But a car you can't keep forever.
That's right. But what happens is that when you have the tires that work together and they're full of air, which is physical, intellectual, spiritual, and emotional, and all the tires are working, and you have a working relationship, a car that can get from point A to point B, don't forget to put the gas in the car. The gas is the actual work that happens once you're married, once you're in a relationship. You have to continue the work.
So do the work, keep that relationship going.
Get the oil change, put gas in the car, live your life to the fullest. If you're unhappy, don't be afraid of divorce. Everybody deserves to be happy. The goal in life is to be happy. If you're not happy, don't let fear get in your way.
Siggy Flicker, thank you so much for your tips, and it's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Mine. When we come back, she's a mom on a mission. Shamus will show us her kid-friendly products that help children manage food allergies and more. Stay with us. Learning that your child has an allergy can be very frightening for a parent. Yet through trial and error, parents can find that he or she is allergic to eggs, to fish, to nuts, or maybe even pet dander or pollen. My next guest is Shamus, who found out the hard way when her baby had a serious reaction to several foods. To help her son Ben manage and learn about his allergies, Iris created kid-friendly products and teaching tools that help children with allergies, asthma, and other concerns. Thanks for being on the show, Iris.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So you learned about Ben, who's your middle child.
Yes,
you
he
learned
is.
about his allergies very young. How did you find out about it?
We were actually at my brother-in-law's house. I just had a baby girl. We were visiting. I had 2 children at the time. Ben was like a year and a half. They had some food out on the table, a bowl of nuts. He reached for the bowl, and I remember my husband said to me, "Is he allowed to have this?" And I said, "I don't, he's never had one before, and there's so many kids these days with allergies. They say that you should hold off," or, and my daughter, who was a year older, did not have any allergies. Right. He reached for it again. He started crying. You know how it is when you take something away from a toddler, they want it even more. And I said, what are the chances of him being one of those kids? And lo and behold, he turned out to be one of those kids. Took one bite out of a cashew and literally started, blowing up and vomiting and breaking out, and it was really, it was very scary.
Very
I mean,
frightening,
yeah,
right.
you don't think it's going to happen to you, and then all of a sudden your child is like, it's scary.
So from that, you really decided, especially when he started to go to school, you really decided that you needed to do something to protect him because you weren't sure that the environment was going to do so.
Exactly. I trusted the environment, and then I learned that as a mom, you sort of have to protect your child at all times when you're not with them. He went to preschool, and I was reassured that they were very allergy aware and allergy friendly. I filled out the forms that needed to get filled out, dropped off his emergency medicine, and a month into school, there was an incident where another child in the class who had severe allergies as well ended up in the hospital because their teacher gave him a snack he was allergic to. She forgot. And
she's human.
Yeah,
right?
she's
But
human.
that's
She
a
was
bit of a nightmare.
She was a veteran teacher. She'd been there 20 years, and it was a horrible experience for everyone. And I thought, how am I going to protect Ben moving forward? And
so here we are.
So I looked around.
This mompreneur, right?
I became a mompreneur.
And you developed all these products, which are part of Allermate. Is that the name of the company? Okay.
Yep, Allermate.
So tell us a little bit about the products, but there's something that I love that you and I were talking about earlier, and then we'll get to the products, and that is that many kids who have allergies or some kind of special condition are embarrassed or ashamed about it or reluctant to even let other people know. So you knew that, you intuited that somehow, and you made sure that what you were doing was actually something that Ben would be proud of. So what did you do?
That was the goal. The goal was I wanted them to feel good about themselves. Right. And I know that kids are very fascinated with characters. They identify with them. And I thought, why not create characters that represent these kids' ailments and give them something to relate to, something that it becomes a teaching tool. And that to me was like the fun part of it all, was creating these characters.
So you created stories.
I created stories,
and Ben
backgrounds,
loved them.
poems. I mean, it was like something I even did with the kids, with friends. We all sort of gave them names based on what that allergen was. And yeah, that was, it was really important for me to make it fun for the kids. I wanted to create like a world for them.
So they were proud about it and not hiding it.
Yes.
So tell us about these great products that you have here. It says wheat gluten-free.
Well, this is a lunch bag, and so a lot of kids have allergies or
like me, gluten-free,
or food intolerances these days are just, as we all know, there's so many kids who are gluten-free. So we did a lunch bag for those kids. There's nothing like I have a friend whose daughter has celiac, and she's always telling me she has to carry her own snacks, and she has to come to a party prepared because she can't have whatever in serving. So I thought there should be something cute for kids to be able to carry their stuff in. That's actually a case for to carry your asthma inhaler.
You know what's great though? They're colorful. They have great characters on them, so they're playful. And again, kids feel good about them.
Right. And people lose their inhalers, and mothers go crazy because they're not cheap. those inhalers.
So
and
this,
so this is something that they can attach it.
Attaches. That's a great
Yep.
idea. And what's this?
We have a collection of wristbands.
Does Ben wear this?
Yes, he wears
is a peanut allergy.
yeah, he's actually allergic to nuts. So we have dozens of different wristbands that represent all the most common allergens, as well as diabetes and asthma. And
right, you have this other company.
We do,
right.
We have a sister line. This is we have a wristband where you can put little charms in, because so many children who have an allergy have multiple allergies, or they have multiple health concerns. Like we were discussing earlier, kids with autism have a lot of food allergies.
So dairy. So they wear this around.
They can choose which allergen they have, and then we carry like which charm. So if they're allergic to nuts and eggs, then they plug in those charms. So it's just a fun way to, again, alert people.
It's fun, it's fantastic, it's innovative, and it helps children really handle their allergies, and it also alerts other people to them. Thank you so much, Iris.
Thank you.
Power Your Life will return in a moment. Ahead, find out what's coming up next week. Last week I was talking about self-care, and self-care is really very important. When you have the self-care, you have the ability to take care of other people, you have the strength and the wisdom to do so. And I'm really reminded of Catherine Walton, who was trapped with her 3 daughters in September during the terrorist attack in the Nairobi Westgate Mall. And that day, I believe that there were 2 heroes. There was Hayashi, who fearlessly rescued her and Catherine's daughters, as well as many other people who were hostages there. And then the other hero is Catherine, who in a recent interview said that she trusted her instincts to know when to hide and when to come out to safety. Trust your instincts and follow your heart. That's it tonight for Power Your Life. Next week, it's Sex Therapy 101 with the help of a premier sex therapist. Plus, an esteemed OB/GYN talks about women's common health issues. I hope to see you. Remember that you have the power to power your dreams and power your life.